It's been 3 years now. The support that they were able to give me in the time that I was here. When you come into a place like this, you feel a lot of different emotions. One of them is shame that you were in that situation to begin with, and they welcome you. And a lot of times they have a story similar to yours, so then you feel like you're not alone and you do have a support system.
Family shelter to me is about empowerment, giving hope back to victims after they've been through a traumatic experience. I was actually a client twice. Shame and guilt, just want survivors to know that there is hope and there is help available.
Well, for me, they did help give me the resources to be able to start over again. I absolutely had to have strong determination to do that. You have to work hard. However, they do give you tools to be able to lead you down that path to be able to start again if you're diligent. Well, I was in a domestic violence situation, and that's what brought me to the family shelter. And then once I got here, I realized that I needed to look at myself and figure out why I was in those situations, what led me to that, and they just helped me pretty much start over my life with myself and physically start over.
So I was first a client in 2008, ended up in an abusive relationship, came from a good background, no abuse in my home or anything like that. So the biggest thing right now for me would be to educate men and women on healthy relationships so they don't end up in that type of situation.
There's that connection because you see them when they first come in, and then once they leave and go out and start their life, and to see them in a different place, happy, it's a good feeling.
I don't know, one day I just had enough of the way things were going. One day you just wake up and you decide you're taking back your power that you've let go, and that's kind of how it happened. I was used to the physical abuse as well as finances being held from me, different things. Abuse isn't always physical, it can be emotional as well. A lot of people don't realize that. There's emotional and financial. And one day there was a bad situation that had happened, and that was it. I was done and over and sought out resources, and that's how I got the number for the women's shelter. A totally different person now. I don't blame my ex-abuser. I've grown a lot in spiritually, physically, in every way. I've just took a long look at myself and the things around me and just decided it was time to change things in every area of my life. My advice would be to just have courage and know that there are resources out there, and hope and faith. Faith is definitely one of the things that got me through. I honestly didn't know what I was going to do when I got here. I didn't have a job. I didn't have any finances. I literally had not much of anything when I got here. I just had a few clothes, and that's it. But I had faith. So with that gave me the courage, and with the courage that gave me the hope. So I am really hoping that my message comes very clear to someone else that you can do it. You can make a difference and you can make changes.
I would want them to know that help is available. I didn't know help was available until I got into this situation. And that's the goal. Community awareness is letting them know that the help is available. And the biggest thing I hear is how much is it going to cost? And that is the importance with the funding too. All the victims that we serve here pay nothing.
It's funny, used to a typical day for me would be waking up anxious, worried, stressed out, not knowing what was going to happen that day. If I was going to be restricted, financially, if I was going to have to deal with the abuse for that day, or what exactly was going to go on. Deal with the verbal and the physical and the emotional, all of it. Now, when I wake up and start my day, my main focus is what can I do to help someone else? What can I do to bring love and light to someone else and give them, like I said, hope? Because that's what got me through, was just knowing there's just a little bit of hope out there that you can make a difference if you're willing to take the time to work on yourself, to figure things out, why you repeat the same patterns that you do, and have the courage to be willing to change. And it's hard work. It's not easy. It's taken me almost 4 years to get here. However, I'm still working on it every day. And every day I wake up and have a sense of calm and peace, knowing that everything's going to be okay.
I would say really important for funding, because there are so many that need help. You hear numbers on TV and statistics and everything, and that's not even, it's so underreported, and the numbers really are staggering.
I think it's so important, because if there wasn't places like this, it would be very difficult for people to start over, for women and children that they may not have extended family. I don't have any blood family here, so for me it was very important to have this, and now they've kind of become my family here at the shelter, the workers and everybody that I had, because they knew I didn't have those resources. So for me personally, that was huge. They, extended their love to me. So I think it's so important that these places are funded, especially the family shelter, because without that, how are people going to be able to start over and get away and be able to work on themselves and make changes for others?
I think that you, through all the different clients that you see, you take a little piece of them with you. And they kind of give you the strength to continue on each and every day. Even though it's funny, because they turn around and say, but you're the ones that give me the strength to continue on each and every day. We do what we do for them. And so the hours spent, on fundraising or writing grants or, reaching out to the community for different resources, it's all worth it. And we may have a really tough day, but then you'll hear from a client. It's almost as if they know that you need a little lifting up, because they'll call and they'll tell you, hey, I just wanted to update you. I'm doing so well. And it just makes everything worth it, because this job is not easy. You take it home with you, and it's not an 8 to 5 job. Your weekends sometimes are spent away from your family. And you may be at a hospital somewhere, meeting someone for the very first time. who can't believe that they had just been sexually assaulted by their best friend's brother who they've known for 20 years. The situations, the things that we encounter are so incredibly difficult, but we have a team that is so supportive and is so passionate about everything that they do. And so helping survivors is just what we do. And we couldn't do it without the support of our community, truthfully.
The biggest thing, I think, is getting that awareness out there and letting people know that there is help available. That's the biggest thing, is if people don't know about it, then they can't reach out for the help. So I think the biggest thing is letting people know that there is life after abuse and it can get better.
I know it's hard and you might feel like there's not an answer, but there is always a way. There is always an answer. And I used to feel like there wasn't an answer and there wasn't a way. But through faith and guidance, through the shelter, and through my personal faith, I was able to get answers and, like I said, work on myself and change. And it does take time, but I just, again, would encourage all the women out there to know that they don't have to put up with bad situations. There are answers out there. There are places and resources. Don't give up. There are other women just like you that can relate to your story.
If you could only for a second see the strength that these survivors have, uprooting their entire life and starting over, it's amazing.